بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، نحمده ونسبحه ونقدسه على آلائه ونعمائه، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك وترحم على محمد وآل محمد كأفضل ما صليت وسلمت وباركت وترحمت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. وصل اللهم وسلم على خلفاء نبيك وأوصيائه وأهل بيته، علي أمير المؤمنين وقائد الغر المحجلين، وعلى البضعة الطاهرة فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين، وعلى سبطي نبي الرحمة وسيدي شباب أهل الجنة الحسن والحسين عليهما السلام، وعلى علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي، عجل الله تعالى فرجه وسهل مخرجه وجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه. عباد الله، أوصيكم وأوصي نفسي بتقوى الله ولزوم أمره. روي عن مولانا أمير المؤمنين عليه الصلاة والسلام أنه قال: ودع القول فيما لا تعرف والخطاب فيما لم تكلف. Avoid the discussion in things that you are unaware of. You don't know anything about them. Avoid the discussion. Avoid being involved in that discussion. There are certain subjects that we are not expert in them. We are not expert. No matter how intelligent, how sharp we are, certain areas it's not our field, it's not our expertise. We should not delve into these subjects. We should stay away from them. وَدَعِ الْقَوْلَ فِي مَا لَا تَعْرِفُ. We can save ourselves a lot of headache if we don't involve ourselves in things that we have no opinion. We cannot give an opinion because we don't know anything about them. وَالْخِطَابَ, and do not speak about something that does not concern you. وَالْخِطَابَ فِي مَا لَمْ تُكَلَّفْ, meaning it's none of your business. So don't comment on this. Don't be an intruder into a subject that is not related to you, or you don't know what you are talking about. This is the manners, the adab of dealing with others. We learn it from our imams. Many of these discussions that sometimes we find ourselves forced to participate in them are unnecessary. Unnecessary. Many of these discussions, they entail, tale-bearing, slandering, accusations, false, reports and rumors, and many of them. Many of them. If you filter them down, you look at the discussion that you had today for 2 hours, 90% of it was unnecessary. Therefore, the hadith says, إِذَا رَأَيْتُمُ الْمُؤْمِنَ صَمُوتًا فَاقْتَرِبُوا مِنْهُ فَإِنَّهُ يُلَقِّنُ الْحِكْمَةِ. If you find a good believer who is silent, he does not speak unless it is really necessary, then get close to him, because everything he says is wisdom. يُلَقِّنُ الْحِكْمَةِ, he teaches you wisdom. This is the beauty of Islam, as-samt. Imam al-Hasan al-Askari alayhi salatu wassalam says, لو سكت الجاهل ما اختلف الناس. If only this jahil, the ignorant person, can keep his mouth shut, we would have no conflict and no fight in the community. Most of our fightings come when the jahil, someone who's ignorant, he doesn't know what he's talking about, he wants to give his big opinion in this subject. Then we're going to have conflict, of course, and wars. And you have to go to the court, you have to do this, you have to fight that. Because of the jahil. But if the jahil knows his boundaries, but the jahil cannot know his boundaries, so what can you do? Then Amir al-Mu'mineen says, وَأْمُرْ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ تَكُنْ مِنْ أَهْلِهِ وَأَنْكِرِ الْمُنْكَرَ بِيَدِكَ وَلِسَانِكَ. Ma'roof, goodness. Any act of goodness is ma'roof. وَأْمُرْ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. Sometimes you cannot do goodness yourself. Sometimes you cannot help. You cannot give charity. You cannot donate. You cannot guide. You cannot teach. You cannot. But to try to encourage others. You can't give money, let's say, to this person, to this family, to this institution, to this hospital, but you know someone who can. Go to him, approach him, tell him. الدال على الخير كفاعله. Someone who guides you to do goodness, even though he did not pay, but as if he paid from his own pocket. He will share the thawab. My brothers and sisters, we have to encourage people to do good. Sometimes our time, our budget, does not permit me, let's say, to do. But I know some people, if I pick up the phone on them and tell them, they will do that. We have to encourage. We have to encourage. وَأْمُرْ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. Enjoin goodness. تَكُنْ مِنْ أَهْلِهِ. You're going to be one of those who did it, who exercised goodness. وَأَنْكِرْ. Ankir means desist. وَأَنْكِرِ الْمُنْكَرَ بِيَدِكَ وَلِسَانِكَ. Munkar is every evil. Not only بقلبك. Sometimes let's say we don't, inshallah, we don't drink, okay? But we don't drink and we hate it only in our hearts, but we don't do anything about it with our tongues or with our actions. This is not enough. Ankir al-munkar. When there is munkar in the society, in the family, in the community, among your friends, you have to show reaction with two things. Biyadika, with your actions, walisanik, with your talks. We have to speak. What are you waiting for? What are you? To lose your friendship? Friendship at the expense of your religious principles, religious values? You lose your friendship at the expense of your friendship with God? You lose this one? Your friendship, your relationship with God. Because I don't want to lose this man because he's drinking and I didn't want to say anything to him. He's a free country. Actions and talks. We people are good at talking. Very good. We can beat Socrates and Plato and all those philosophers. But when it comes to actions, zero. Our actions does not match our talks. This is the problem. لِمَ تَقُولُونَ مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. We speak. Sometimes the Imam says, not only speaking, your actions also. Your actions, your inside should match your outside. Your inside should also match the outside. The things that you do, you practice, should be in harmony with what you say. If there is a difference, all of you know the story of this mother. I mentioned this many times here. The mother who came to the Prophet one day, she said, Ya Rasulullah, my son, he loves to eat sweet. Too much sweet is bad for him. He's sick. So please tell him something. Please tell him. He respects you. If you say to him no, he would listen. The Prophet said, take him today, bring him tomorrow. She came tomorrow. He stood before the Prophet. The Prophet said to him, he said to him, son, don't eat sweet. لا تأكل التمر. Don't eat. And the son said, of course, Ya Rasulullah. Of course, Bala Ya Rasulullah. I obey you. I respect you. I'm not going to eat. The mother turned to the Prophet. She said, Ya Rasulullah, this sentence was very easy. Why didn't you say it yesterday? The Prophet said, yesterday I had eaten the sweet, the tamr, myself earlier. I could not tell him not to eat while the sweet is in my stomach. He would not listen to me. He would not listen to me. The actions, the talks has to match the actions. Then we can move forward, inshallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna Allah ya'muru bil 'adl wal ihsani wa ita'i dhil qurba wa yanha 'anil fahsha'i wal munkari wal baghi يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات. تابع اللهم بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات إنك مجيب الدعوات. وعجل في فرج سيدنا ومولانا صاحب العصر والزمان. وإلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات ثواب الفاتحة مع الصلوات.